Hello, divine being, and welcome to Ascend Feminine channel. My name is Nikki, and I create videos that help you transcend distortions so you can allow higher states of consciousness, embodying your highest self and living the most abundant, joyous, and delicious lifetime. In today's Q&A, we're gonna talk a little bit about everything. I never know what the questions are gonna be, but the beings that are listening are always meant to be here and are meant to benefit from these answers. So let's go right into it. And today's Q&A edition, it's the unicorn edition, just because I thought it was fun and cool to wear my unicorn pajamas. So here we go. Question number 1. How do you keep focused and maintain boundaries around toxic past friends you're learning to let go of? Beautiful question, lovely soul. I don't work with boundaries anymore. In my case, I just allow the field to present the beings that are meant to be on my path in that specific moment, which are in complete vibrational resonance to my essence or the level of consciousness that I have allowed myself to become. So the relationships that you're attracting in the moment are a complete vibrational match to the person that you are and the person you are allowing. So if you're in that moment in which you are fluctuating in between the person you used to be and the embodiment of highest self, it's completely normal that you are letting go of past friendships, you're letting go of past relationships, which are just projections of your own consciousness in the level of resonance that you used to be. So there must be some acceptance into it, not exactly a boundary, but I accept that I'm allowing higher states of being. I accept that I'm not the person that I used to be, even this morning, yesterday. I am evolving moment to moment to moment, and I'm open to receive the friendships and the beings that will elevate me in my path as I would elevate them as well. Because you see, every relationship is a catalyst for your own growth and expansion. There are no coincidences. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you are allowing higher friendships. And if there are still reflections of your past state of being, don't reject them, because you cannot reject consciousness. What you reject persists. So whenever you see that a friend that you call toxic, but it's just a projection of self, it's an extension of you. So why would you call it toxic if it's you? Love him. Love that other being. When you put your unconditional love towards the other being, then it disappears because you don't resist it. So say thank you so much, being, for showing me my previous state of consciousness, that previous state of consciousness that manifested you into my lifetime, into my life team in that specific moment for us to learn lessons. I release you because I already learned the lesson I need to learn from this relationship. So I thank you, I release you, I free you from me. I free myself from you, but with love, with gratitude. It's not toxic. It's just a perfect expression of divinity. Every being is just an expression of the one infinite creator, an expression of essence of all that is. So see it as a beautiful expression of the one, just an expression that is not serving your growth anymore. It's not serving your ascension anymore. So the resonance is not there. It's not an attractor field. It's more like a repellent. It's a friction. And if you want to live in complete harmony, in complete synchronicity of the unfoldment of your highest timeline of existence, then just let go of the friendship. It's beautiful that you're trying to let go. So stop trying and just let go of it. And whenever that being appears into your reality, thank you so much, being, for showing me my past state of consciousness. I choose differently. I choose to stay in my truth. I choose to stay in my love. I choose to stay in my now state of consciousness. And little by little, slowly but surely, you're going to start attracting and manifesting the beings that are meant to be in your reality in this moment. See yourself in this timeline. This is the highest timeline, and you're right now here, making the jump here. So whenever you see beings from your past state of consciousness, that means that in this highest timeline, you're coming back here. And it's a test. It's a test from highest self showing you, what are you going to do with this test? Send unconditional love to it. Greet him or her with the love and light as if they were the one infinite creator, because they are. They are an expression of it, and so are you. And then they're going to disappear, and you're going to move here and crystallize your higher timeline of existence. That's your answer, love. Thank you for your question. Okay. Oh, this one is... Hello, I'm writing you as I see that you're very spiritual as I am. I feel like I'm going through awakening, and I have been feeling so weird ever since I have been working with an energy worker on my DNA. I really need to talk to someone experienced, and I'm curious if you have felt like this before. Is it normal to feel physical discomfort while going through this journey? I hope you can help me. Thank you. Thank you for sharing and for your question. Yes, completely normal. In my case, when I was allowing higher states of being, I was activating my Kundalini rising. That means that more light was pouring into my vessel, more electricity, more light of higher consciousness. Yes. So whenever this light was entering my vessel, it's like if an electric shock was entering on my crown all the way down, and it was a bit painful. I used to move like this, and I had tics. I was like, It was delicious, but it was a bit painful as well, because I still had some distortions to clear. So that was mainly the catalyst that I had to go through in that moment of my evolution, so I could let go of those distortions. Opening the throat chakra, letting go of the remaining limiting beliefs, letting go of the fear of rejection, letting go of, can't even remember, some things that had to pop into my reality, into my conscious awareness, for me to look at them and like, here you are. That's why it hurts a little bit, to allow more light into my vessel. Whenever I cleared those beliefs, then instantly the Kundalini energy that I was feeling aligned into my center, and I could feel completely blissful because there were no more distortions, and I was completely merged with higher self. So that's just my experience. But in your case, it can be too the same. You could have had some distortions that you need to bring into awareness. Ask, where is this pain coming from? What is this pain trying to tell me? You ask, you surrender, leave it to a spirit, and an answer will come. Write it down. You can do automatic writing as well. Ask, clear your mind, forget about it, go to the shower, do something that takes you out of that thought, cook, play, and then an answer will come, and you'll be like, all right, I need to release this resentment. All right, I need to call this person. I had some friction and I need to make an amend. All right, you would know, and spirit would tell you what is not in vibrational match with highest self, and then the pain will disappear. Humans can use symbols as like rewiring DNA. The version of myself that went through that process was like, there are some changes that are being taking place in my DNA. It's all consciousness. We're all energy. But the way you want to relate to it and express it through symbols, it's beautiful, because those symbols also took me here, where I am today. So, accept it, not resist it. Ask where it's coming from. And say you allow more light. I allow more light into my vessel. And I know that my physical vessel, it's open to receive this unconditional love, these blissful energies, and this light. So good. So good. Chills. Okay. What would you say it's the best way to get to this? Let me see what you're referring to. This was a post that I made. It says, when in perceived challenge of thought form, thoughts can pull you out from your level of comfort, but as the recognition of self, highest self, is integrated, there will always be a simultaneous existence of the God consciousness within the bodies, light body, physical vessel, emotional body. There can be illusions of challenging thought forms, but the self is ever untouched. Something I wrote. Ever complete, ever peaceful, ever perfect, ever blissful. Once this recognition is fully penetrated and practiced, one can see the mind going towards an edge, a challenge, or a situation, but would never identify with it. You will see it as a character playing a role within the game of choosing, but never believing one is truly experiencing the perceived triggered. And then I cannot read more. can find the post on my Instagram or Facebook page. So this being asked, what would you say is the best way to get to this? A practice to experience this post or this realization is to, whenever you experience a trigger, something that moves you out of your alignment, you simply don't rest there feeling, oh, I am sad, I am challenged, I am angry. No, because I am is such a powerful code, and what you are is eternal bliss, eternal peace, eternal confidence, eternal knowingness of the one infinite creator that you are. So whenever you're out of alignment, triggered fear of abandonment, fear of being wrong, fear of failure, fear of whatever, any fear that is an illusion, because fear is not real. The only thing that's real is infinite love and abundance and joy. Then feel the emotion, accept it, let it rest, sit with the emotion, but see it as a separate. The easier way to get to this realization and integrating into an embodiment, into a knowingness, is first to separate yourself in two. You can call it your higher self, your wisest self, and the baby self, or the inner child, inner hurt child, or the ego. And you would say it's just the baby self, the ego, the inner hurt child that is complaining, that is feeling the tantrum, that is feeling abandoned, that's feeling rejected. It's not me. And when you learn more to separate yourself in two, which eventually is going to be a simultaneous reality in which you know you are just the highest self, and you can experience this at the same time, but you wouldn't feel the emotion and it wouldn't move you. So whenever you feel the baby self experiencing this, you actually are not touched. You don't feel anything. You don't feel a contraction. You just see it as a pass, in, like coming into your eyes like this, like into a slide, and you're like, wow, interesting, wow, that was a ride, or wow, this is an experience I choose to place there as the creator that I am. But to get there, go from the point of, okay, that's the baby self, that's the inner child, which is not being integrated in that moment, which is having the tantrum. Interesting. And look at it, sit with it, and if it moved you, see, oh, the physical vessel is giving me a signal, it's experiencing a contraction because it's showing me and it's telling me that I'm not in my highest truth, that I'm not in alignment with what is truth for me, what is truth for the highest good. And you can use the practice of say, I surrender this for the highest good of all. I surrender this emotion for the highest good of all. I know that this is not me. I am highest self. I am forever untouched, forever blissful, forever free. And whatever is experiencing this is the baby self. I am not the mind. I am not the baby self. I am not the ego. I am not this unicorn costume that's being funny for you. I am just the highest self. So practice this every time you feel triggered, anytime that a situation takes you out of your center, because it's the situation you place there for your own growth. Remember, both beings, it's like if you are in a play and you go backstage and you talk to John and you're like, John, right now, trigger me, right now, say something that's gonna move me because I want to learn this lesson, and let's agree to play together into this role of this situation so I learn something. Oh, John, I'm probably gonna get mad at you, but John, we will know because we're here backstage that this is just a play and we agree to have this interaction to get triggered with each other, or me or you or whatever, because we both want to grow from this and we created this contract so we can learn from each other. Okay, John, cool. And then you agree with John, and then you come, instead of backstage of the play, you go into the theater and you're performing. So every time you get to a trigger, to a situation, to something that takes you out of your center, remember you agreed to play that role with that being before you incarnated, because you wanted to learn that lesson. So whenever you integrate this teaching more and more, this knowingness, every time you go to a situation, it's going to be like, I agreed to go through this. Not taking myself so seriously. I know I'm just playing a game. And then you can use this thing of separating yourself into two, highest self and baby self, seeing the trigger, asking, what is it trying to teach you? Write it down. And remember that you know how to transcend it. You know how to transmute it. I surrender this to the highest good. I transmute this emotion as it is not me. And I choose to express myself in highest self moment to moment. And if there is a hidden truth, hidden lesson that you need to learn, you ask highest self, I'm open to receive this truth. I'm open to receive this lesson. And the download would come. You're all channelers. You all know how to access your highest self and your guides. Just ask and write it down. Beautiful. Can you do an energetic weather report for the next 2 weeks? Well, I won't create reality for you. But if you wish, you could project the weather of your preference. And this is completely possible. Just choose how you want your experience to be and trust with complete knowingness that that's how the weather is going to be for you in that particular moment. And through infinite possibilities and infinite probabilities, you can experience the weather of your preference. And you can change the word weather for anything else, and it works with everything. Just keep projecting your preference, keep projecting your preferred state of being, and that's what you will project or receive. But remember, it's not really a receiving, it's just a projection. You're placing that being there. You're placing the sun there. You're placing the stars there. You're placing everything there. You are the creator. That was funny. Okay. What would you say about a partner focused on freedom of the system while you are focused on being a healer and they believe that your path is not important? Beautiful question. Then it's a test for you. There's a part of yourself that is not 100% sure, 100% knowingness and confidence of your path. So you are projecting a partner that is doubting your path. Several times in the process of Nicky allowing her highest self, her partner test her by doubting her and not believing whatever she was experiencing in the moment because she couldn't understand that state of consciousness in that moment. And that was a test, and Nicky received. This is for you to step in 100% knowingness of what you're experiencing and your own expansion without needing the approval or the validation of your partner, of your friend, of your boss, etc., of anyone. You just need your own knowingness. And when you truly believe that your path is fully important, you wouldn't project a being, a partner, telling you otherwise and doubting your path and saying, oh, that's not really true. That's not that important. If you truly believe that your part is important, it wouldn't move you, first of all, and second of all, you would keep projecting your preference that is going to manifest a version of that partner that admires your path, that believes in your path, that is like, wow, I'm so proud of what you're doing, because you are proud of what you're doing, and your projection of self, your play of consciousness has no other choice but mirror back to you your beliefs. So you're going to project a partner that believes in your work, believes in your path. And if it's not in alignment with the highest self of your partner, your current partner, and your highest self, then through infinite possibilities, you're going to manifest a different partner, version of you, extension of you, that is in complete resonance vibration with what you're doing right now. So it all comes from self-love, self-knowingness, self-trust. You don't need any validation. You don't need anything outside of your own confidence in yourself, your own empowerment, your own truth. Believe in your truth. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. And it's a test because there are no others. It's only you. So it's just a test of consciousness. Do you believe in your work? Do you believe in the importance of you being a healer? Stay in that knowingness. And if you chose to place that catalyst or that trigger there because you knew you were courageous enough, strong enough to master that lesson, you are an energy master. Next question. How is your life? Splendid, blissful, delicious, beautiful. It's just a continuous unfoldment of moments, of beautiful synchronicities, of my highest joy expressing itself through me, living my highest excitement and spirit working through the vessel of Nicky, Avatar Nicky, or Unicorn Nicky, into being a mirror of love and light for you, into being whatever I need to be in the moment, like morphing myself into different characters, to provide whatever it's needed for the highest good. It's just beautiful. Timelessness, foreverness, infinity. Thank you for that question, because it allows me to be so grateful for my beingness, for this moment, for this experience, for you, for your presence, for the smell of incense, for the smell of a cup of coffee, for friendship, for laughter, for purpose, for creation, for projects, for ideas, for the beauty of every moment of giving, of receiving. It's just divinity expressing itself in different versions of the one. Divinity within all of its expressions, and all of the expressions are completely beautiful. It's completely beautiful to experience life like this, to see everything as so exquisite, so 4K. So fun to just be in your truth, in your essence, without any fear. Just fun and play and excitement and silliness, and not taking yourself so seriously, and just, you know what? Loving yourself. And the more you love yourself and you allow to express that love, the more you can be of service. Because when you're in your highest joy, there cannot be any other way. And that's what came true from this question. So thank you so much. What do you use to stay disciplined, and or what's your favorite type of meditation? Right now it's not just a discipline, it's a devotion. I have chosen this path of self-realization for this lifetime in particular. And I have been practicing this for so long in many other lifetimes. So it's a devotion, but at the beginning stages, it was just a desire. If you have the desire for allowing higher states of consciousness, if you have a desire to be of service, if you have a desire to expand your soul's journey, then you would not flinch from it. You would keep on it moment to moment to moment. And you will be persistent, even in the illusion of adversity, in the illusion of not feeling that state of exquisiteness, of peace, of joy. Even if you're in the turmoil and you are in the fluctuation, or maybe you feel a little bit of peace and then you go back down into turmoil, or you're fluctuating your emotions, that's completely normal, completely fine, completely beautiful. Getting to know yourself through symbols, through emotions, through catalysts. If you have the persistence, if you have the strong desire to experience this freedom, this liberation, this experience of highest self, that means we're destined for it in this lifetime. So the mere fact that you're asking this question and you're here and you feel attracted to these teachings and learnings means that you are already in this path. Choose one of the spiritual truths that you resonate the most with. Maybe being kind, maybe being understanding, maybe expressing your truth. Maybe staying in integrity, being in honesty, practicing meditation to allow higher states of beingness and quiet the mind, not identifying with the mind. Choose one of these principles and practice it daily and daily and daily and daily. Just one, and you'll see so much advancement. Being kind towards all mankind every day, just a little act of kindness, and you'll see the difference. Being understanding of others, being giving, being humble, being okay with being wrong, letting others being right, because you know that there's a payoff and you rather give that payoff and release yourself from that and allow yourself to be free. Being in that goodness, in that good willingness every day will bring you more and more into that embodiment of higher self. And my favorite type of meditation is contemplation. It's just making your life the meditation, making your life a prayer. Tantra, bringing presence in everything that you do. Eating, an interaction, listening to this Q&A, doing this Q&A, drinking my glass of water, smelling a candle, playing with my cat, anything that I do, bringing complete presence to it. That's a form of meditation. Completely immersed in the moment, completely immersed in the experience. So you not just take the meditation practice in the morning or at night, which is beautiful to do, and include in a routine if that makes you feel consistent. But not only stay there. Do your meditation in the morning, and then during your day, practice being in a state of meditation. Practice bringing presence to everything that you do. Practice being in your true essence. Practice enjoying your physical best, and enjoying your movements, enjoy looking at yourself in the mirror and being, I'm so grateful for you. You're so precious. Thank you. Thank you for this body. Thank you for this experience of being alive. That's my favorite type of meditation. Not staying in the practice, not staying in the 10 minutes of silence, in the hour of silence, just taking that state into everything that you do and in every interaction you have. So, before meeting your current partner, did you waited to have sex? As in, did you kept yourself sacred or feel you should? I feel this question is more about you. You're asking if it's okay to keep yourself sacred till you choose a partner for a lifetime, or if you rather just decide to engage in sexual interaction and if that's okay. And I would say that's completely different for everybody. I can create reality for you, but I can tell you that there's no right or wrong. Whatever religions say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. There's nobody that's supposed to tell you what is right or what is wrong for you. Whatever feels right for you, not even your parents. They're just the ones that you chose to bring you into this world, but you are a child of consciousness. You're a child of God consciousness. So you can choose for yourself. Don't let anybody guilt trip you for a decision you made. If it's your body, it's your sexuality. See it as a way in which you allow yourself to play with another aspect of self. And if it's in integrity, if it makes you feel good, if you honor yourself and your body, and you decide to give that to someone that honors himself too, because there was a woman who asked, and is rooted in that truth and in that love, then it's completely beautiful to share that love. And I have a talk I did with a friend about sacred sexuality that speaks a little bit more about that, and I'm going to link it here if you want to know more about how to express your divine feminine, your sensual essence, your tantric self in ways that makes you feel good, makes you feel empowered, makes you feel safe in your body, and expressing that without shame, without guilt. It's completely beautiful and natural to express your sensuality and sacred sexual energy. So, yes, I feel you would benefit from that talk. Thank you for your question. And I'll make more videos about that. I love this topic. Every time this comes up, my mind goes blank. I guess I just feel the vibe, and up and up and up and up. Somebody posted that in the question. Thank you so much, love. Yes, it's just a resonance. And sometimes there are no questions to be asked. There are no answers to be given. It's just feeling the energy. And if you feel the energy of the words, you feel my intentions behind this talk, and it just makes you feel like an upward spiral because there's a resonance, then there's no need to ask anything. And I acknowledge that, and I love that, because that means that you are following your path of truth and you resonate with this, and that's beautiful. And from that point on, you're just allowing more light and more light and more light and more light. And then you're going to create higher and more beautiful realities for yourself, beautiful states of consciousness for yourself. And making your life a reflection of that oneness, that unity, and that love that you feel towards yourself and the other aspect of you. Because we're all mirrors and stardust. Amazing. Let's see. What do you think about unconditional love, but that love has conditions? Like, a lot of people say they love unconditionally, but the love is depending on the other person doing what seems necessary by another person to get that unconditional love. Then in that case, that wouldn't be unconditional, that would be conditional. Is there really unconditional love in an intimate relationship? Seems counterintuitive to promote unconditional love, but only in certain conditions. Then that wouldn't be unconditional love. I was married, and the more I moved into this space of freedom, embodying that I am all aspects of life and truly loving unconditionally, I couldn't grasp the concept of marriage, claiming someone as yours, and it slipped away. I think I was a good thing. But do you see what I'm getting at? This is a general question. I haven't my answers for me. Others may wonder this as well, I'm sure. Yes, and that's a beautiful question. I also answer that and how to express your sacred union and conscious relationship or conscious relating with another being, with another partner in a way that's unconditional. In this talk I did with my friend Marcus, we talked about this sacred sexuality, sacred bond, and how we can break free from these concepts of marriage, which it's beautiful if you choose that. That's more like an agreement that you choose to have with another expression of self or being. But if you choose this agreement, then making sure that you're rooted in unconditional love and that you're there to give. It's not an agreement that is made out of lack or I want to possess you, because that won't be unconditional love. That's a love with conditions. And that's just humanly created. But if you're stepping from the highest self and the one infinite creator, then you're just an expression of divinity. You're unconditional love already. You're already complete. And you can choose to share that unconditional love with whichever beings you want. And doesn't have to be in a form of you are mine or in physical interaction like sexual encounters. It can be just appreciating the other being's presence, looking into their eyes, feeling their energy, sharing a moment, sharing an ice cream, being there for each other. If you have different agreements, that's beautiful too. If you have one agreement and you choose a person which you just want to have those type of conscious relating with, then that's perfect too. But make sure that you're rooted in the realization that you are your own unconditional love. And whoever you wish to share it with, to be rooted in, they are that unconditional love. And they should let you express yourself moment to moment in your highest joy. And that is love. That is the ultimate form of love. Just appreciating someone by their essence, by their beingness. It's not, you are mine and that's it. It is, I enjoy being with. I enjoy the person. And if the person is not with me, that's completely fine too, because I am complete and I love this person so much that if the person allows themselves to follow their path and their path is different for the unfoldment of their highest truth and highest self and their joy in that moment, then you release the person with gratitude of the experience, of the learnings. And that would be unconditional love. And it doesn't have to be in a marriage. It can be unconditional love towards your mom, towards your friend, towards your pets, which are high forms of unconditional loves. Your pets love you unconditionally. I'll link the talk so you can check it out. It's called Sacred Sexuality and Becoming Multidimensional. And there's a lot more about that there. And I'll make more videos. Is there a need to feel lower energies, especially from seeming external sources? There's not a need to experience lower energies. You experience the energy of another if you wish to experience that energy for the purpose of learning and teaching. And I love that you said for seeming external sources, because there's nothing outside of you. And you can be in complete mastery of your energy, that it doesn't matter what the other person says or does, you can stay in your center. You can allow for that energy to come to you and imagine yourself being just this beautiful portal shield of white light, and it just comes and like a waterfall slides from you and it doesn't touch you. You're forever untouched, forever perfect, forever blissful, like in the first answer. And it doesn't move you. And even if it moves the baby self, then you see it as separate. It's just the baby self that is being moved from the purpose of learning and teaching from that experience to allow higher states of consciousness, to allow a different level of the game. Imagine if you were in this Mario game or this Nintendo games, and then you're going around these games and you have different lessons that are the monsters, and if you defeat the monster, in this case defeating the monster would be staying in your center, not reacting, Okay, you're not going in a fight. You're not going to actually defeat the monster, the seemingly monster, lower energy. And when you pass the lesson, the monster disappears. You get new keys, you open new doors, and you go to higher levels of that game until you pass the level and you master the game, and then you get bored of the game and you buy another Nintendo game. That would be when you learn all your lessons in this lifetime. You go back to the source, and then you decide if you want to come back again and learn different lessons. You play a different video game, or you stay there in infinite bliss. So you see, there are no lower energies. It's just a beautiful expression of the one in different aspects of divinity, and you can choose to stay in your center, in your mastery. If you're not in that place yet and you feel like you get moved, remove yourself from the situation, go to a room, remember this truth. There's nothing outside of me. I am the creator of my own reality. I chose this catalyst. I choose this trigger for my own expansion and ascension. What do I need to learn from this? Okay. You received the answer. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this learning. I allow myself to be free from this. I know I am not this emotion. I know that I'm forever free, forever unaffected, forever blissful, forever untouched, because I am highest self. And the only thing that got moved here was the baby self, the inner child, or the ego. Okay, that's not me. It's just a physical vessel showing me a contraction as my emotional guidance system, letting me know that that's not true, that that's distortion. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you feel you have the emotion and you need to cry, you allow yourself to cry. If you feel you need to scream, you allow yourself to scream. See, you don't judge the emotion. You don't identify with the emotion. You allow the emotion to sit there with you, and you allow it to pass. Do I choose to surrender this emotion to highest self and for the highest good? Yes. Do I surrender? Yes. Do I surrender? Yes. The emotion will cease. Slowly but surely, the emotion will cease. What is your opinion on psychedelics? Have you tried them? Do you try them? And I answered this question before, but I couldn't find it. And I really wanted to give an answer to this being because he's a friend. Hello. And you're all my friends. He's a friend from different aspect of self, and we had so much memories together. And it was fun that he reached out. I love that, that appreciation. So no, I've never experienced psychedelics, and my opinion is there's no right or wrong. Whoever wishes to go through this path of expanding the consciousness and opening the third eye to psychedelics and lifting the veil in their own ways, they can do that, and that's completely perfect in that evolution of that being's path or process. But what I stand for mostly, and the way I'm showing to beings, and because this has been my life theme, is to not use the path of psychedelics because it's not needed. It's more like an allowance of your state of being, and an allowance of that state of having these visuals, of having these third eye visions, of having this, I can see the unicorns, I can see the rainbows, I can see all these visions that beings tell me that they get when they're in psychedelics. And I'm like, oh my God, that's how I see life. And I have allowed that through out of devotion alone, out of dissolving distortions, out of transcending illusions, out of identifying my fear, identifying my, and by my, I refer to the baby self-fear. And identifying whatever emotion the vessel is going through in the moment and releasing it with all the tools that I provide in my teachings and in my videos and in the past answers of this Q&A, and then allowing higher states of consciousness through meditation, through devotion, through intention alone. And you can allow yourself to feel bliss, to feel ecstatic, to feel ecstasy of just existing. And I have been able to even have my pupils so big, like when you are in this drug trip and you're seeing everything in 4K, just out of meditation alone, out of meditations that open your third eye and expand your consciousness and release natural DMT. And I'm going to create a lot of these meditations in my new site. And perfect question for this end, a little marketing note here, voidvibrations.com, in which I'm going to have all these practices and meditations to actually experience these DMT releases, to experience this psychedelic vision, to open your third eye and have these visuals being sober. And that's beautiful because you can keep those realizations. And whenever you want to access that portal of that infinite beingness and that infinite knowingness and seeing at all times. Is like if you have these two eyes and your third eye fully open, and when I think about comic scenes and things I want to see, instantly they appear in my mind's eye, and life becomes more funny, more dreamlike, more light, more waves. It's really funny state of beingness. It's also really freeing, allows you to transcend and transmute traumas, allows you to free yourself from pains, and just to be in more elevated states. So we're gonna be releasing the website soon, and you can check it out in the link that's gonna be in the description. And that's it for today, my friends. Thank you so much for your beautiful questions. Thank you so much for your presence and for watching and enjoying this experience of the unicorn with me. I'll see you in my next Q&A. Sending you so much light and love and fun.